In this video tutorial, I am going to talk about exam 2. So in this exam or project, there is total 6 things we have to do. The first component is the main arm. Exam 2, you have to save them like exam 2 main arm, last name, first name, and then second component is secondary arm. Then there is a base and 2 pins, pin 1 and pin 2, and there is an assembly we needed to create it from these components. So the dimensions for the main arm, secondary arm and base is given, and for pin 1 and pin 2 we needed to find the above we needed to find about the dimension of the pin 1 and pin 2. It's not very difficult. We needed to see the drawings of this main arm, secondary arm, base, and we can calculate the required pin diameter and length. So we go to part 1. Inches, units are in inches, and its worth is 25 points. The part 1, here is the view of the part 1 is given. So we needed to create this design in Fusion 360, and this is the part 1. This is main arm, and this is part 2. Create the following model. You should have all the dimension. You need to correctly create the model. So this is part 2. It's secondary arm, and then there is a base. Part 3 is base, and after designing the base and saving it in Fusion 360, we will do the part 4 and 5. Create 2 pins that will be used to hold the main arm to the base and the secondary arm. So this is the base, and this one it's main arm, and this is the secondary arm, and there is 2 pins. You can see here pin 1 is here, and this is pin 2. So we needed to find these dimension for these 2 pin. We can do it. First I'm going to design the part 1, which is main arm. So first thing is that verify your units. Change the units into inches. Click OK. Now the units are converted into inches. Go to create, and I am going to select this front plane. So as you see, this is the drawing. There is a circle here, and then this line, then again a circle, then line, and this type of sketch we needed. So I am going to draw this sketch, and then after that I will give the dimension to it. So I am going to select circle, draw a circle like that, then again another circle like that, and I am going to select line, start the line on that circle and place it here anywhere you want, and the second line must touch this circle, and again this way I am going to select a line like that and then give the dimension to this circle. Now I am going to select the sketch dimension. To dimension this, the diameter is given 0.5, and this diameter is also 0.5. okay, and now I am going to add some constraints. Select the tangent constraint and select this line and this circle, and again this line and this circle, and again I am going to select this line and this circle, and this line and this circle. Okay, now I'm going to go to modify and add 2 fillets. So I'm going to select this one and this one. So these 2 fillets we needed to add, and the dimension of these fillets are given. So this dimension is given as 1.5, okay, and this sketch dimension and this dimension, sorry, we needed to select the fillet command and add a fillet here. Click OK. This is showing in radius, so we needed to change it into diameter. So go to sketch dimension, this dimension, it's showing in diameter form, so we needed to add 0.75, and now we needed to change that into diametral dimension. So uh, go here on this dimension, select it, and then change it to toggle diameter. So now this dimension is converted into diameter. Again, same way, I am going to add a fillet here and put the dimension 0.25 as in the radius form, but this dimension we needed in diameter. So I go here, click on it, then right click and toggle into diameter. Now I am going to add some position dimension. So scale dimension, like the dimensions are given here, from this point to this and this point to this dimension, this center point from this origin is 1.25, and this is 1.5, and from here to this center it's 1.5, from here to here it's 1.75, and this one from here to here is 2.5. This dimension I'm going to add. So dimension from this origin, this center to this center, in that in vertical form, this dimension is given as 1.25. Okay, it's 1.25, and this dimension, the center of this circle, select this point and this center, this dimension is given as 1.5. Then from here to this center, this dimension is 1.75, and dimension from here to here, this is given as 1.5. Okay, now from this point to this point, this dimension is given as, sorry, I made the wrong selection. From this point, this center of that circle, this point to this center of this circle, this is given as 2.5. So scale dimension, select this point, and this dimension is given as 2.5. And from, you see, from this center to this center it's given as 0.5. So select this one, this is given as 0.5. Now we needed to add two more circle, so select this, and this dimension is 0.25, and again circle, and the dimension of the circle is 0.25. We can add dimension when we're drawing the circle, or if you just draw it, we can add it by the scale dimension. And now I am going to trim the area, this one and this one. This area we don't need it, so just select the trim and go into that area and it will be trimmed, and finish the sketching. So as you see, to correctly use the extrude to create the part of the thickness 0.25, its thickness is 0.25 extrude, and its thickness is 0.25. Now as you see, its thickness is 0.25. So this is main arm. We just created the first model, and as you see, its thickness is 0.25. We needed that thickness when we calculate the length of the pin 1. And the second part is, part 2 is the create the following model. You should have all the dimension you needed to correctly create the model. Use extruder to create the part of the thickness 0.25 inches in the main section and 0.2 inches in the tabs. So there is tabs, these tabs, its thickness is given as 0.125, and the thickness of the part, this thickness is given as 0.25. This thickness is 0.25, and there is two tabs. The thickness of the tabs is 0.125, and as you see there, for this part there is no material here. The tabs are on the upper surface and the bottom surface, and here between the tab there is no material. So this is the sketch of that secondary arm. I'm just enlarge it so you can see it. So here is the drawings of the tabs is given. As you see here, the drawings of the tab is given here, So we needed to draw like that. So first I'm going to just draw the main part or the feature of this secondary arm. So I'm going to draw this one, then I'm going to draw this stuff. So I just saved that part one. So first thing is that go to units, change the units to inches, click OK, create, and go to, so we open this sketch on the front plane. Now for this sketch I am just going to draw 4 circles. Just place like that, this way. Just randomly draw these 4 circles, but make sure you draw in something like that. As you see in the drawings, there is a circle here, 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 a bigger circle here. So I'm just going to draw it like it's showing me in the drawings, in the sketch. So I just randomly draw 4 circles. Now I'm going to add the dimensions. So this point, this is the point of this circle. There is a circle. If you enlarge it, you can see this, there is a circle, but the other part is trimmed, so that why this is not showing a full circle. As you see closely, there is a circle here, and the dimension of each circle we needed to see it's 0.5, 0.5, and here it's also 0.5. So draw it and go to sketch dimension and dimension it. So this dimension is given as 0.5. This is also given as 0.5. This is also given as 0.5. This is also given as 0.5. So if you see from here to here, this dimension is given as 0.25. Okay, and from this point to this point, this dimension is given as 1.5. Sorry, 1. Okay. So for this circle, from this point to this point, this dimension is also given as 0.5, and from this point to this point in the upward horizontal dimension, this is also 0.5, and from here to here, this dimension is given as 1, and from here to here in a vertical form, this dimension is given as 1.5. Okay, so we just draw these 4 circles and give the dimension to this circle. So now select the line tool and draw the line from here to here. Draw a 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 line. So we just draw these 4 lines, but I just avoided to add the constraints here when I'm sketching these lines. So now I'm going to add the tangent relation. So select this line and this circle, add a tangent, select this line and this circle, add a tangent, select this line and this circle and this line, and add a tangent, select this circle and this line, add a tangent, select this circle and this line, add a tangent, select this circle and this line, add a tangent, select this line and this circle, add a tangent, select this line and this circle and this line, and add a tangent. So we just draw these 4 circles, then give the dimension to them, and then we added the lines and add the tangent relation between each line and each circle. So the final sketch will be look like that. Now I am going to trim, use the trim to remove this portion, this portion, this portion, and this portion, and I am going to select a circle here, select a circle and draw a circle and give the dimension 0.25, and again, okay, we just draw this circle here, but in coming features we also needed a hole here and here. So I just draw a circle here it will make the hole here, but I did not draw it like the circle here, so we can do it later and finish it. And then go here, extrude it. So this is given as 0.25. The thickness of this extrusion is 0.25. So we just draw it. Now we needed to remove the material from here and add these two tabs. So look it closely. You needed to see it, like observe it closely, that how I am going to add it. So create the sketch on this surface and like that. Just zoom it, so this portion, the portion of the origin is like in a large shape. So we just draw this sketch. There is a circle here, its radius is 0.375, and there is a circle here, it's 0.5, and this circle is showing the diameter of the hole. So circle, draw a circle like that, just draw these two circles. Okay, now this edge, we needed to make this edge like showing in this sketch. So this edge we want to convert into line. So go here on project and select the project, and I am going to select this edge and this edge and make it to the projected. So these two edges are now in the sketch form, and then I'm going to add a line like that, and again a line like that with this circle. Just remove this line like that. Now I'm going to give the dimension to this sketch. So this dimension, it was given as 0.375 multiplied by 2, because the dimension is given in radius form and we want to add the diameter, so that's why I multiply this dimension to 2. But after adding that, we can convert it into radius form. So just go on this dimension, right click and toggle radius, and this dimension, we know that about this dimension is given as 0.5 radius. So go here, create sketch dimension, and this dimension is given as 0.5 radius. So if you observe this in large sketch, you see this line, there is a line like that and there is a line like that, and relation between these line and this line is this relation. So this symbol is showing that about the perpendicular. So we needed to add a perpendicular relation between this line and this edge, and this line and this edge. So like that, we added these tangent relation. Now we needed to observe that if there is something missing, so we needed to trim this portion, trim, and if we selected this portion, and we needed to trim this portion. So these two portions, we just trimmed it. Or you can, like, if you don't trim these two portions, you can also do that without like trimming these two portions. And I think we needed to add the tangent relation between these. We needed to add the tangent relation between this line and this circle, and this line and this circle. So this way we just make the sketch of the tab, and we also draw the sketch to remove the material. So finish this and go to isometric view, select, and make sure you select this inner portion don't select any other portion, just make sure you selected this portion and this portion, this portion, and then select the cut and cut in it in that direction, and make sure you selected all and make the cut. So this will remove the material. Now the material is removed. Now we needed to add the tab, but as I already told you, for this sketch we added the both sketch for tab and the sketch for to remove the material. So now I'm going to extrude it, and make sure this time you select this portion and this portion, these two portions you selected, and make sure you did not selected this portion. We needed to select these two portion and give the dimension 0.125, okay, in that direction. And then we needed to make the tab on this other side, so I just rotated the model in that direction, so this direction will, the other face will be shown. So click on create sketch. Now we needed to select the other surface, so just go here and rotate it in that direction and select this portion, so our sketch will be on that surface. And we don't need to add this sketch, we will convert the existing sketch onto this surface. So go to create and go to project and select the project and select this circle, this line, this circle, or this one, this one, this one, and this one. So make sure you select it all, so it will be converted into sketch in our selected surface. So I just hide this sketch, so this sketch is here. We needed to extrude that. Click extrude this portion and this portion, and give dimension 0.125. Make sure it will be, the operation is join, so it will edit the material. Click OK. So we just added two tabs. After that I am going to create, open the sketch on this tab, draw a circle. The diameter of the circle is 0.25. Finish the sketch and extrude. So click extrude, select this hole, and make sure you selected the operation is cut, because we are cutting the material. And for extend, select the all and click OK. So now this is the secondary arm we just draw it. So make sure you got it how I draw it. We needed to draw this, the body, this body of main arm, secondary arm, and then we add the cut, and then we added these two tabs on it. Now the third part, which is base, we needed to design the base. So it is saying create the following model. You should have all the dimension. You need to correctly create the model. Use Extrude to create the first part of the thickness 1 inches. So we needed to add these rectangle and then extrude it to 1 inches. So go to document setting and make sure you selected the inches. Create, and I'm going to make the sketch on this bottom plane. Select this plane, select the rectangle, draw a rectangle like that, and this dimension is given as 2.5 and 2, and then finish the sketching. Go to extrude, and this depth of extrusion of the dimension or the distance of this extrusion is given as 1. So I just draw it. Now it says use the extrude to create the big rectangle part of 1.2 thickness, and the small square of the thickness is 1 inch. So there is these type of sketch here on the top surface of the rectangular. We just created it, and we needed to add these type of sketch. I am going to add these all sketches in a one go, and then we will create the extrude command to extrude these all portions. So create sketch on this top surface. I am going to draw a rectangle like that, then again a rectangle like that, then two other rectangle like that, and I am going to dimension to these rectangles. So it's 1.5, it's 1 and 1, sorry, it's 1.4, 1 and 1, and we needed to see the dimension for these two rectangles. It's 0.5, from here to here it's 0.5, so 0.2, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So from here to here it's zero point 0.2, from here to here it's 0.3, and this dimension is 0.5, so this dimension is 0.25. From here to here this dimension is given as 0.25, and this dimension is also given as 0.25. And as you see, this dimension is also 0.5, and it's also from here to here it's also 0.3, or if you don't add this 0.3 dimension, you can add like a relation which is called a collinear relation. So select this and these two lines, and it will make the collinear facing each other, and finish the sketch. Now we just add these 4 sketches on here, and we needed to make the extrusion for it. So it's saying use the extrude to create the big rectangle. Big rectangle is 1.2 inches, small square of the thickness 1 inches, and small rectangle of thickness 0.5. So this is the rectangle, bigger rectangular. We needed to add the material or the use the extrude command for 1.2 inches. Then for the square 1 and 1 square, we needed to add the thickness of 1 inches, and then the small rectangle, these two small rectangle is 0.5 inches. So go to extrude, select this portion, only this portion, and add 1.2, click OK. Now as you perform this, the sketch will disappear. So go here on this sketches folder and show this sketch, and again extrude this one, and this dimension is given as 1, and the small rectangle is 0.25, and extrude this one, and this one is given as 0.5. So then you can hide this sketch, and then we needed to add a hole here. So it's 0.25, 0.25, and 0.25 inches. So create on this and add a circle like that. Go to create sketch dimension. This dimension is given as 0.25. From here to here this dimension is 0.25, and from here to this edge its dimension is 0.25. And finish the sketching. Go here, and now we needed to make the cut starting from this surface to add the other side of this surface. So I am going to select create extrude, select this one, and I wanted to cut the material, but we needed the cut in that direction. So if you can do like the cut and control this handle like it is crossing this edge but it is not touching this surface, you can do that, or you just rotate it in that direction. You needed to see this surface, this one, and just go here on distance and select to the object. So it will make the cut starting from its plane to the surface or the object which I am selecting. So I select this surface, so cut will be from this side to this surface. Click OK. So we draw that and click save. This is base. Now after that we needed to add the 2 pins. So as you see, this one here, this is pin 1, So pin 1 we needed from this side, like from here to on the other side from here. So we needed to calculate the distance between from this surface to this surface. So as you see, so pin needed it from this side from here to here. So it's 0 0.5, 0 0.5, 0 0.5, meaning 0 0.5, 0 0.5 it is 0 0.5, and then plus 0 0.25 it's 0 0.75. So the pin 1, make sure you selected the inches, create and select this surface and add a circle of 0 0.25, because the hole which we draw on the base is 0 0.25. Finish. The pin 1, it's 0.75, length is 0.75. Pin 1, okay. Then we needed to add another pin, setting, inches, okay, and this pin again on this surface, and the diameter is 0.25. Finish. Extrude, select this one, and now we needed to find the length of this pin. So this pin is pin 2, which is here. From here, this tab, from this surface to the other surface of the tab. So as you see, the total thickness with the tabs and this portion of the main secondary arm, this one is 0.25 inches. So two tabs of 0.25 inches, it's 0.25, and this has from here to here 0.25. So the pin 2 length is 0.5. Save it to pin 2. Now as you see, we needed to assemble the all components. We just created it, so we needed to assemble them. So to make the assembly, first step is that we just like that. So we needed to make the assembly. So first thing is that, like, just open a new Fusion 360 atmosphere or the tab, so, and just save it. So we just save this, and when you expand the data panel, you will see we created base, main arm, pin 2, secondary arm. So we just save this new design tab in Fusion 360 with the name of assembly. It's open, assembly is open, but nothing is showing here. So that is the way of adding the assembly. So as you know, the definition of the assembly is that every component is assembled together, everything is together. So that is the assembly. So first thing is that we needed to add the base. To add the base in the assembly, select this pane from the data panel, then right click and click on insert into current design. So as you know, the current design is assembly, so this component will be moved into the assembly. And as this is a pair, you will see there is 3 handles. These 3 handles are rotational handles, and then there is 3 other handle which is translational handle. You can like move it in any direction you want for distance, and it is also showing on here. And move and copy, you can see the x distance, y distance, z distance, x angle, y angle, z angle. These types of angles are showing with respect to the original, but we don't need it to change for this model. It's look good, so click OK. And as you put this model in here, you will see the base is showing here. With the assembly, you will see a base, so basic showing here. So this base, we can move it like that, we can move it. So we can move this base. So to make it fix, go here on base, right click and select grounded. Now this I cannot move it, as you see. Now this first component we added it, then I needed to select, click on main arm, just one click, and then right click and click insert to into the current design. So it's showing here, as you see, this these two models are like overlapping each other. So to give it a correct position, I can like move it here. And these handles, just let me show you how these handles work. So as you see, this handle, I grab on it and I rotate it, the model will be start rotating it. But for this model we don't need it. It is depending on which plane you draw these stuff. Maybe sometime you needed to like make the rotation or something, so we place it here. Now I needed to select the, go here on assembly and select the joint. The joint is the feature of the assembly which is used to make the components together or add a relation between two components, like how they are assembled to each other and how they will work. So just now, after selecting the joint, you will see here a component, component 1, component 2, alignment and motion. So for the motion, I am going to select the revolved. So select this one, and then for the component 1, I am going to select this edge. So after selecting this edge, a plus sign is showing here in the middle of this center, this circle. So that means the, for this joint, this is the component 1, and from this surface it will be attached to the other component. So the component 2 is this one. So we just created the other component for this edge. So now this edge is touching this edge, and as you know, we added the revolved relation between them, that why it start rotating and showing us a preview that how it will be act in the assembly. So like that, now we just added these components. So as you need know, we added the joints between them. Now we can rotate this model, but we cannot move this model in any direction, because the first model base is grounded. So grounded meaning it cannot move. And this model we added the revolved relation between the circle of two components, so that way it's just rotating, it's not moving in any other direction. Now we needed to add this secondary arm. So select the secondary arm and then right click and select insert into current design. So as you see, it will be showing here. I just grab this handle and move it here like that and click OK. So now I am going to again add joint, select the joint, and then we needed to add for the motion type, we needed the revolved, and for component 1 I am going to create a component origin on this point. So select this circle, it will create a origin like that, and then for this part just zoom it, and if you needed to rotate you can rotate it. Just rotate like that, because we needed to make an other origin for the components too. So this circle I just selected it and click OK, and it will be assembled and showing the preview of reward, and click OK like that. Now you see the motion like that. So for this project maybe you needed to show this motion, so make sure you edit these things correctly, because he will see the motion, like the motion is acting, the grade will be on that motion. If this motion is existing you will get grade, if this motion is not, you will not get the grade. So this motion you needed to show him, and then we needed to add the pins. So select this pin and click on insert into this design, and I'm just going to grab this handle and make sure the pin is here. It will be easy for us. And then go to join and continue. Select this for component, and this one, okay, we added this valve. So this one, select this edge and then this edge, and like that. And then we needed to add the pin 2. Click OK. Join this edge and this edge. Make sure you selected the correct edges, because the which edge you selected, it will create a origin, and for the other component it will also create the origin, and these two origin will be coincident. So that's why you needed to take some care. So now this is done, and you can see, you are seeing this motion here, or you can also see the motion like that. So this is done. You can click save, and you can also export this to your laptop. Just go here, export, and you can select the position on your laptop where you want it, and you can export it also. So this model is done. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any question. Just comment, and so I can answer it.